Before I start this video, a little explanation is in order. The Hoxton housewarming party, Battlefield 1, and a particularly tumultuous election cycle kept me distracted from the release of the John Wick weapon pack, at least for the 2 or so weeks that it's been out. While that statement might date these remarks, it is pleasant to, after all the chaos of the last weeks, return to a timeless tale of an uber assassin and his high-tech gadgets. It's the first we've seen exclusively from John since his debut 2 years ago. The pack's presentation is all class, starting with the 2-minute trailer, which faithfully recreates, not to say copies, an up-close gun kata scene which the character is known for. The theme overall for the weapons in this pack are high capacity, high stability, low ammo pool. The Desert Fox sniper rifle is the exception to this. It has average damage, ammo capacity, ammo pool, and stability for a sniper rifle. Its one outstanding trait is that it can become very concealable for a sniper rifle. This means that, very appropriate for Wick, it's a rifle that behaves fairly well for a dodge and a crit build. Both attributes are rare for sniper rifles in Payday 2. With the concealment add-ons, the Fox loses some accuracy, which you might have to bolster with some skill points, meaning you might not be able to do as much overall with a build focused on the Fox. The snipers as a whole were left behind a bit in the difficulty overhaul last month. The Fox, with crit enabled, behaves a bit more like snipers used to, one-shotting specials in the head again. It's not the new meta or anything, but the Fox is the bright spot in this pack mechanically. It's something new that hasn't been done before. The Contractor pistol is, as mentioned before, small, fast-firing, medium damage, and very stable. It also has a fairly large magazine, although not nearly the largest one in the game for pistols. The particular combination the Contractor has means you can very quickly run up free headshots in Inner's Gray and then do that again and again and again 9 or so more times before you even need to reload once. It can even pound down green and black dozers in that single magazine, especially if you have 2 of them. It's a supremely fun pistol to shoot for those reasons, although you might run into ammo economy issues if you can't make the kills you need to keep it filled. The UMP is fun for the same reasons, although its damage is higher than average. With the UMP you can cause a lot of damage very quickly due to its extremely stable firing pattern and a massive, oh my god, what the hell is that? It's like half as big as the gun itself. Jesus! I can just imagine that monstrosity in the Wick film. Oh, hi, my name's John Wick. I'd like to get into your very exclusive club. Oh, what's that? No, it's totally not a 3-foot-long magazine. That's, my collapsible walking stick. Yeah, my legs are deficient. Hey, could you stand up? I can't aim down or this giant magazine smashed straight into my ballsack. You'd better believe this thing exists in real life. In fact, I'm pretty sure I saw one on a gun show, sitting next to that Colt 45 with the double barrels. But given that this is a pack for a character known for practical concealable weapons, couldn't you have found a drum mag? Or like, the only other magazine? This tiny little reasonable thing? Hey, look what I can do. Tiny, big, tiny, big, tiny, big. And yes, you do want to equip this absurd thing, because it gives you 65 rounds in the pipe, matching the Tommy gun. The only downside to the UMP is that the magazine is around 55% of your total ammo pool. The UMP's damage is fairly high, and with the stability, it's a really good pound-down weapon. But like with the Contractors, you're gonna be running into ammo problems unless you're landing most of your shots and grabbing most of the boxes. The last weapon in the pack is a throwing knife, and can I just say how weird it is to me that it's taken this long for a throwing knife to make it into the game? We got shurikens, we got Viking axes, hell, we even got javelins before we got a throwing knife. That's just weird. The knives are practically statistical copies of the throwing axes. Maybe a little less damage, maybe a little faster. They seem to throw closer to the center of the screen, for one, but they're harder to locate once you've thrown them. They're nothing we haven't seen before, and that's actually kind of the problem with this pack as a whole. Come down to brass tacks, is the pack worth $4.99? Well, let me put it this way. The benefit of having umpteen million DLC is that we've got a huge pile of guns in this game, and what's 3 more in the pile? That's the downside. The guns you add have got to add something new, not necessarily just another flavor of the month or a push on the statistical norms. The newest thing here is the concealable sniper rifle. Each of the other guns takes a pair of statistics and pushes them slightly further than we've seen before. So despite the hilarious Mega Mag on the UMP, I can't call the Wick pack worth a buy out of hand. If you're looking for a few new guns to liven up your Payday experience after 1,000 hours, go for it. If you're new to the game, these guns aren't going to give you as much new experience as some other packs would. Now, as a bonus, I'll talk for a few moments about the Halloween heist this year, which was free and might end up staying in the roster, according to Overkill. That's good, because I was impressed by this heist overall. Stylistically, Payday replicates the corridors of power robustly. Banks, city streets, the lofts of the elite, all rendered beautifully. Yes, the third or fourth bank vault or city hall may feel rote, but Overkill have done an impressive job with a game that's mostly set in one city with one climate, picking areas where you're likely to find gobs of cash. They've even managed to sneak in a dilapidated apartment block or two. Come time to make a rusting, caved-in prison on the seaside, Overkill knocked it out of the park. An average run-through of this heist would probably be anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes, starting with the first Wheel of Misfortune, which you have to defend or risk a time delay on the vending of a keycard you need to progress to the next stage. The wheel dispenses 2 misfortunes for each keycard. Misfortunes like Phantasmic Smoke, Spooky Fire, and the Headless Dozer. You'll have to spin through 3 wheels before the end of the heist. The final wheel is accompanied by a randomly generated door, which eats the same keycard you could be using to get out. That door splits out mystical, exploding Coker Gold if opened. Then it vanishes to a different part of the map, so you can choose, in true Payday fashion, to stick around and grab more loot instead of leaving right away. The Nightmare Prison is harder than most other heists, and that's for one primary reason. The spawn rate is pretty high, and there's not too much area for the cops to spread around in the narrow corridors, hallways, and checkpoints. In many cases, your path forward or towards a safe area away from gunfire will be physically blocked by shields and tasers. Right at the start of the level, in fact, is the worst instance of this. You're at the wheel, and the cops are all charging up this hill. You get your key card, and surprise, surprise, the card reader is across the massive river of ham that just spent the last 2 minutes flooding over the valley. Now you've got to cross it. This and the lack of substantive cover while being surrounded by cops on every side makes the prison map a map more suited to dodge. Crossing the first gulf is going to require at least one dodge player, unless you want to beat back the whole horde. Dodge is going to keep you from being pigeonholed in the interior corridors as well, and faster players will move the Coker Gold better. After blasting through the entire spooky abandoned prison, the escape phase of the mission came as a surprise to me. You zipline out of the prison into an abandoned elevated train, again fighting through a very tight corridor with cops that block your passing. You spill out of the train onto an abandoned highway filled with massive bundles of cash, which you have to try and avoid rather than try to evacuate, since all the cop spawns for the entire level are clambering onto the bridge from below. The cash, in one of the first symbolic level design choices I can think of in Payday, is representative of the flight from greed as a whole. Stop to grab the money, and you die. Or maybe it's symbolic of your flight from danger into safety and massive wealth. You've escaped every aspect of the law, including prison. They can have their money. You got what you came for anyways. The whole level is something that Overkill hasn't really done before, a more abstract level, divorced from reality and designed more for titillation than true representation. In this attempt, they've done really very well. But despite the over-the-top difficulty, I like this heist, and even though this isn't really the prison breakout heist I wanted, it's still pretty damn good. I'm still holding out hope for an undercover breakout of a heister or some mafia don or something. I'll just have to hold out hope for another future DLC.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Good.
might did.
All right. I guess.
Okay. Fine. Going loud.
I'll do. Okay. I can't do roof really well because I have an LMG.
Can you tell me how absurd this magazine looks? Because I really kind of want to know. Look at this fucking thing.
Actually, it doesn't look too. Stop turning. I want to.
Does it stick into my body when I look down?
No. It looks fine now. Actually, that's in your thigh. All right. Let's get a hostages before you know. Let's do the